This ain't a rap song, it's Red Pill Rage.
There used to be a time that fairy tales were true. The king and the queen and all the pills were blue. But then the pill changed, the red pill's the truth. Forget the married life, I got better things to do. Stack money.
I like the way the old school ways work. They did work, we just messed it up.
So that's important to you to like take that leadership role?
In the hoopty again? Yeah, because the vision I'm about to give you, it might get nasty.
Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, go ahead and hit your like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And go ahead and hit that notifications button as well. Mainly hit the notifications button because I have been shadow banned, which is why you're seeing the views drop off. So a lot of you have to re-subscribe and re-hit the notifications button whenever you see this video. So stop and go ahead and do that right now. All right. Next, I would not be talking about all women, even though it feels like it. And if it feels like I'm talking about you, you need to check yourself because I'm only talking about bad women that do bad things to good guys. And I'm teaching good guys how to spot the bad women that they didn't notice before.
Nigga, what?
If you're looking for the music to the intro and you want the link to the second channel, both are below in the description. All right, guys. Today, I'm going to be reacting to a video of guys asking, should a man pay for the first date? All right, we're going to be reacting to a TikTok video. And I'm also going to be reacting to a video of a pastor who wiped saliva in a man's face on stage. All right, with no further ado, let's get to it. Okay, this is a video that I got off of World Star, and it's called, Should a Man Pay for the First Meal? These men try to explain why women should pay for the first date in 2022. Sounds interesting. Let's get to it.
Men should pay for the first date. 3, 2, 1, go.
I like the way the old school ways work. They did work, we just messed it up.
So that's important to you to like take that leadership role?
Tradition.
To be like the breadwinner?
I'm the caretaker of society. I don't even like saying it this way. Once you give the woman the power, then you just demasculated yourself.
I agree with him with that. And that's a good point that a lot of guys need to learn and that a lot of guys need to understand. You can't always give the woman the power. All right, you can't always adjust yourself because a woman said so. You cannot always try to be equal with a woman because she said you guys are equal. There are certain things, not necessarily this thing that he's talking about paying for meals. Me personally, I pay. All right, because it's not that much money to pay for dinner. I'm a hardworking man. All right, I have multiple hustles. I got multiple channels. Spending $100, $200 to have dinner with a woman is not that big of a deal to me because I'm not expecting sex after dinner. I'm not even expecting anything. All right, just the companionship for the moment. But on that note, he is absolutely right. You are emasculating yourself just by allowing a woman to have the power and always putting her in position to pay for things, to do things, and to be the leader. No, there are certain things that men are supposed to say, no, I'm a man, I'll take care of this. It's just that the younger generation now, I understand where you're coming from because your generation is totally different than my generation. It took me a while to realize that, but I have realized that when I was coming up as an introvert, I didn't have the internet, which is why I've only been on social media for the past 4 years and I'm 40 years old. So I went 36 years without looking at the internet or dealing with the internet like that. So when I was an introvert, I had to learn how to draw. I had to learn how to keep my house clean. I had to learn how to build things. I had to do puzzles because that's the only distraction that I had at that time. A lot of introverts now, you're lucky because you get to come on the internet and be distracted with thousands of things. But those thousands of things start to create this cycle of thinking that you have. And we're going to get back to that later. Let's get back to the video.
I want to stick to what's made me happy. And my grandparents, my parents, I'm just going to stick with it because it works. It's not perfect, but it works. Be a man, plain and simple.
I don't know. I think we're just getting in dangerous territory when we start talking about chivalry. At the end of the day, it's like, yo, baby, if you want to pay for this, like, there is no hierarchy here. Like, if you want to pay for this, pay for this. And maybe next time I'm like, I just got a check, so I'll pay for it.
I like that guy's statement where he says one day he'll pay, the next day she pay. That's how I do. That's how my dates are. Some dates I pay, some dates she pays. Sometimes I pay for this, sometimes she pay for that. We have an equal bond here because we have an understanding. When it comes to relationships, what's lacking nowadays is understanding and communications in relationships. And the reason why there's so much lack of understanding is because there's too many ideologies. There's too many people saying what's right and what's not. And people are falling for these ideologies. That's keeping you confused about dating, period. But I can also say, for a lot of you younger guys, it's not your fault that you think the way that you think. Society has programmed you to think this way. But you got to start thinking outside the box, especially when it comes to little stuff like dates. It's simple when it comes to a woman. She either likes you or she doesn't, period. When you start paying for things and expecting results from it, that's called simping. If you got to go on a date and say, hey, you pay your half and I pay my half, but you're there trying to pursue a relationship, I'm sorry, but that's lame.
Wasn't this the first meal though?
Yeah, the first one.
You only get one chance to make a first impression.
What does it matter if it's a girl or a guy? It's 2019 and your logic shouldn't be like, no disrespect, like, oh, because my grandpa did it and it worked for him, then it works for me. If she's not gonna date me that second time because I didn't pay for her, I think I dodged a bullet.
I agree with him as well. I agree with that as well. A lot of you guys, you don't want to pay for the first date because you're scared of getting ghosted after. You're scared of her not calling you back and you feel like you wasted your money. I completely agree with that. But don't be mad if I tell you, you just don't have enough money. When you start getting over the 100,000s and you start actually have a good income coming in, you're not gonna really trip about $100 on a date. And on top of that, that date that you go on, that first date that they're talking about, should always be something simple. It should always be like a Starbucks. It should always be like a cheap meal. If you're spending hundreds of dollars and making the date so lavish, and then you're expecting something at the end, right, you're gonna get mad. But if it's $20, $30, $40, you're not gonna get mad if she ghosted you unless you took your last little bit of money trying to impress her. The only time I say go 50-50 is when she wants to go eat at a place with you that you didn't want to go to, and where you guys are going can get kind of expensive. You taking her to Benihana's, you start taking her to these lavish restaurants that you want to go to, yeah, go ahead and spring the 50-50 on me. But for the most part, if we're talking the first date, keep it simple, all right? Keep it extremely simple. I'm about to get to the second video, and this video I found to be extremely disturbing with this pastor wiping the saliva onto this guy. I'm still not understanding this. Let's get, okay guys, this video is called Oklahoma Pastor Rubbing Spit in Another Person's Face During the Sermon. I don't know what's going on with this, but let's get to it.
Changing something and you don't see it clearly yet, but you hear. And
Whoa.
this is where.
Come on, man. Come on, man. I just want to say this. When people start doing things like this is strictly for attention. This is showing you exactly how bad people are addicted to attention, because he knew that this would go viral. He knows somebody is watching it. He knows it's going to go on the internet. He doesn't care what type of imagery come for this. Understand, guys, start thinking outside of yourself and start looking into life. People are addicted to attention now and doing anything for it. Even people of God.
Most people would not face Jesus anymore. What most people would do is turn away.
Come on, son. Come on, son. I'm glad my screen was blocking that out. Come on, son.
What I'm telling you, is just as he's physically standing here, knowing what's coming, God's saying, can you physically and spiritually and emotionally be able to stand when getting the vision or receiving it might get nasty? I'm gonna say it in a point just like that. Receiving vision from God might get nasty. You mean, God, I just bought, in crazy faith, I just bought my dream car. And now you're gonna ask me to sell it back and ride in the hoopty again? Yeah, because the vision I'm about to give you, it might get nasty.
I understand he's trying to deliver a message, but there are ways that you could deliver a message to people without actually humiliating someone. And then on top of that, when you're willing to sit up there and be humiliated like that, you have completely lost yourself. You've completely lost your soul. You completely lost your spirit. You're just a broken person looking for anything. You're looking for anybody to save you. That's what's going on with this dude. Let's get back to it.
And do you hear and see the responses of the people? What I'm
Come on, son. Come on, son. Come on, son. Come on now. Come on. Like, let's keep it real here. Let's keep it real. You got to stand for something or you're going to fall for anything whenever it comes to life nowadays. Everybody has an agenda. Everybody has a belief system, right? It's up to you to develop your own belief system of what you want life to be. It's not to follow anybody else's guidance. Never listen to anybody. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to nobody else. Just collect a little bit of energy out there that you need and the knowledge that you need to move forward. My reality is completely different from your reality. But a lot of you guys, you've lost your life. You've lost your vision. You've lost where you want to go. You've lost where you want to be. You don't know where you want to go. You don't know where you want to be. You're trying to find hope in all kind of ways, but you're running towards people who have an agenda for your brain because you don't have control over your brain. All right? You got to get out the house. If not, you're going to end up just like this guy on stage.
It's how you just reacted. It's how the people in your life will react when God is doing what it takes for the miracle. What are you saying? This man was blind, and what he was trying to do with this man?
That dude just sitting on stage with that man's saliva in his face, and the guy is proving a point to him that when you start doing good with your life, people are gonna have that vision and look at you like, ew. Yes, I understand. You're gonna gain some haters as you start to progress in life. But what you have to understand about haters is the sign that you're doing good. You need them. If you don't have any haters in your life, that's the worst position to be in, is to actually think that everybody loved you. And a lot of you guys, you've been in a position where you thought everybody loved you, and then you found out at the end they didn't. People hate it when they think you're better than them. It's when they ain't hating, you start worrying then. Haters are there to let you know you're headed in the right direction. Without them, you're not going anywhere. So don't be alarmed at the faces that a hater is going to make or what people are going to think about you. You have to be numb enough to say, all right, I'm inside of my own world. I'm getting out of life what I want. If not, you're going to be the person that everybody likes but ain't going nowhere in your life. You're stuck. This is Anthony Spade. Hopefully you guys are able to get the message behind the video. And in my opinion, don't end up like this dude, man. Do not let someone sit up and rub saliva in your face and embarrass you to prove a point. Hasta la vista.